And welcome to the Human Experience. I am your host at TRUHIM at ALTRUIZHIM, altruism, however you want to go. That is me, and I am here to present compassion in action with the Human Experience. And if you're new to the Human Experience and what it is that we do, the Human Experience is an opportunity for people to express themselves in a most compassionate manner so that you, the viewer, can experience compassion in action. It is simply that simple. You know, we're just here to inspire the world to be even better and to just be the happiest they could possibly be. And today, we have the fortune of having Philip Saw, aka Cal Glow, expressing himself compassionately.
What's up?
How you doing? Germany. What's up, good brother? How you doing?
What's up, brother, man?
I'm well. Please let the people know who you are, what you do, how you do it, and when you got it done, brother.
Well, we can start talking about this photo, right? This photo I took in 1999 with an old Kodak Mavica. And it's literally like the smallest resolution image I ever have, but I use it and I have to blow it up. But that's Cowglow, right? And Cowglow is the name I came up with when I was in high school, when I was, just dipping into the internet through Telnet, black and white, no Google Hangouts like this. So we've come a long way. But that's, like you said, I'm living in Germany, and I have a pretty interesting life. Whereas at least a couple of different experiences.
I can imagine that, bro. Hey, actually, I remember. So we met. What was that? It was at least like 5 or 6. It was about like 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe
5 years, bro.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, and we met kind of through Occupy. Actually, that was when because I met you through Esho, and it was down. I met Esho at Occupy. And so it was through that context that we became associated with one another. And then that was right before you were moving to Germany. I remember you talked about, you found your love, and you wanted to go to Germany, and all this, that, and the third, and you were in the military or something like that, or veteran or somehow.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you wind up in Germany. So please, elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, Rob is my good friend from SGI LA, and then he was involved in the Occupy movement, and he was I met him because we lived in the same building. He lived on the 2nd floor, I lived on the 5th floor, and he had just gotten his Geholsen, and I had
what is
I had my Geholsen.
For the people that don't know,
for us practitioners of Nichiren Daishonin, it's a piece of scroll that we chant to, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Which roughly translated means, I'm a devotee of the mystic law of cause and effect. And then, I met him for living in the same place. He got involved with Occupy. I went to visit him down because you must have been down there too when you guys were setting up camp.
No, I didn't live in the encampment. I was more on the strategic side of things as opposed to the actually occupying the capital.
Oh, well, he was down there, I think. So
yeah, he was.
Definitely. But I met you at the Friendship Center because you came down to chant.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was
for the young men's group, and then I took off like shortly after meeting you.
Awesome. And so then, what was it that brought you out to Germany?
There was a young lady who I got to meet while I was here in service, and we just stayed friends. It was a really nice opportunity for us to become friends. And when I met her, I had maybe 2 to 3 months left of service here in Germany. So I didn't want to be misleading. We were having fun. We were young. And I was like, look, I'm leaving in 2 months. So, instead of me telling you like some falsehood to make this next 2 months, a fantasy, let's just be real. And we had a good time. And we've been friends, and we decided to have a family. So we have a kid and a second one on its way.
I didn't know you had a second one on the way, you sneaky bastard, you.
Yeah. Well, it's
Awesome.
been cooking for a while.
Oh,
But
congratulations. Congratulations on that, good brother.
thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So, here on The Human Experience, we ask people 7 different questions that will allow the world to experience the compassion that resides within your soul and your heart, good brother. And so, with that being said, I'd like to ask you the first question, if that's okay with you.
Yes, let's do.
All right, awesome. So, pregunta número uno es,
Sí, señor.
is, which do you trust more, your heart or your brain?
That's a really good question. So I think if you're looking at my record, right, of like decisions I've made in the past, I would have to give it up to the brain, right? I logically assign more decision making than I do to my heart. But you have to also admit that or what I need to also identify is that something what's new, it's trusting my heart more. Because let's be honest, like even joining the military, that was like a gut instinct that you follow through, and that had to be the influence with the heart. But definitely more now, the heart more than I did, and I think it's about changing. It's about evolution, I think. But
so within that, then, like, what would you say? Could you name a experience in particular that, other than the military experience, that allowed you to, where you did trust your heart more than the logic of your brain?
Well, obviously coming over here, like this was coming to Germany and starting a serious relationship, with having that sort of like ascendance to the next, level of life for me. I think that was total heart move. Like if I ever gambled, I took a role in this one, and I think like it looks like it's paid off well. So I think
Awesome.
more recently, totally been listening to my heart, even with situations at work. And I think, that's also important for people to be making every day. So, but you have to have some discipline. And I think it's easy for me to be logical and trust my brain, but definitely more trusting the heart.
There's a saying that I've been working on and trying to perfect, and I've heard it from somewhere else, and it's almost like think with your heart and feel with your brain, meaning that
Yeah.
when you allow your heart to be open and make a decision, then your brain will logically, I wouldn't say logically, but then, as your heart, it's almost in the reverse. I'm sorry. And I'm still working it out, I guess. So it's like, as you think with your heart and then let your brain, cognicize, if that's even a word, but just let your brain, react and lead based upon what you're thinking in your heart and how you're feeling in your heart, and then as you act on that, let the logic of your brain dictate how those feelings are going to be expressed in the world in a better way.
Yes, because I think it's not so. It's okay. It looks complex because it's a big equation, but like you think like E equals mc squared. It's a very small equation, but explains the fucking universe.
Mm-hmm.
So you think like to trust your heart and to use your brain asynchronously, like together at the same time, it's really the goal. Because otherwise you're polarizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're either going to be trusting your heart, making bad decisions, and then resenting yourself, or you'll make isolated logic decisions that will like totally void you from the experience of connecting with people. So
Correct.
Don't
And
polarize.
so the middle way.
Yeah.
Ride the middle. Don't change positions. Work it for me. All right, awesome. So now we're gonna go into question number 2, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So, is it better to have beauty or be beautiful?
Okay. So I think that for me, I like. So I like. I'm a filmmaker. I like making films, and I think
Mm,
that there's a level of superficiality that I'm just sort of attached to. So beauty to me has a very superficial. That's not right. Yeah, very weird like attribute, right?
mhm,
And I'll judge like print ads, but I won't judge like human beings. Like it's not the same. Like reality versus like marketing.
mm,
So I think again, like sort of joining both concepts and thinking like the beauty comes from having beauty, beauty, in and itself. Because beauty, what is it like? Based on the eye of the beholder. So when I appreciate that beauty, that the essence of whatever it is, whether it be a specific kind of music or a specific tune or a specific film, that feeling that I attach to it creates that beauty. It's sort of like I'm the one giving attaching that attribute. It doesn't come with beauty.
mm, mm. Okay. Okay. So you would say having beauty then instead of being beautiful.
I think so. I think
All
that
right.
they're both kind of like one and the same.
Mm, mm. So,
Because the other aspect, like the other thing that I think about when I think of beauty, it's the other extreme of the spectrum, which is very superficial, and
mhm.
you can't really judge that.
I hear you. I hear you.
I mean,
My go
I
ahead. Go
think to
ahead.
have beauty, it's in anything that's like smart of design or just beautiful. It's in the essence. So to have
Mm.
beauty,
All right. So you're explaining it in a way that um so faith is simply be life. That's what I do, right?
that's what you say, yeah.
I talk to people about how to build their self-esteem so that they can go out into the world and be as magnanimous and dynamic as they were born to be, right? And so
Right,
in this process, one has to figure out what life is. And when you're able to come to that understanding that life is about number one, cause and effect, number
right,
two, having your needs met, meaning food, clothing, and shelter. And number three, life is about being, right?
yeah,
Because whenever you're being something, that means that you are in action, that you are the embodiment of that which you are being. So the question is really based upon having something and being something because we all have the potential to be dynamic individuals, right?
right,
And at times we just because we have it doesn't mean that we're using it, and it's just laying dormant and it just sits there and until you and sometimes you'll flick the light switch on and you'll go from having to being, and then another time you'll click it off and then all you'll do is you'll
yeah,
just have a bunch of things without being anything, you know. And I think that that is single one of the most important factors that we are able to have as human beings, the fact that we can be that whichever it is we choose to be for ourselves. And that's what makes us, that's one of the instances that makes me so fortunate to be born into this human body for this particular lifetime.
that's right.
So all right. So we got having beauty, being beautiful, whether you're trusting your heart or your brain, all in your feelings and emotions and superficiality and stuff like that. So when was the last time you cried,
I
Cowglow?
it had to be Saturday.
What?
I think it was Saturday. No, it's Saturday or Friday. I'm trying to remember. It was probably last time I was coming back from work, and okay. So the reason why it's so easy for me to say that it was last Friday or last Saturday was because I have become a practitioner of crying. It sounds a little weird, I think, because there was a lot of pain that I've had and a lot of karma that you work through. I mean, chanting is definitely good, but I think like a lot of the emotional overload, the only way to get it out is just through crying.
Mm,
So it means that like when I listen to Lightning Crashes by the band live, it triggers an emotion, and then there's like real joy, like crying and sadness and it's just an eruption of emotion, if you will, that manifests into crying.
So you're saying that you heard this song, and the song is the thing that brought about these emotions for you to
every time
let the tears roll. So is it that song in particular, or is it just like various songs, or how does that?
Well, it's that song in particular, but there's patterns in music, I think, too. Specific notes, because we also attach music nostalgic value. So it's like certain albums help me feel like very energized because it's albums I listened to when I was in my youth. And now it's just, I don't know, everything has a different trigger. And there's like, we were talking about like beauty, like when you find something that's touching or humanistic, compassionate, it touches your heart. And I've just, I trigger really easily, but I can also hold it in, which is, I think part of the tactics that I use.
Okay. I mean, I think the last time I cried was a week. Yeah, I almost cried a week ago too. I was in meditation, and oh yeah, and so I have my hair cut now. I don't look like I did 2 weeks ago, and
you were crying for that video.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, it was more so the emotions that welled up in me as to how this haircut came about.
Oh, how did that come? How did that work? Is that a story you can share?
Yeah, for sure. It's about expressing oneself, right? This is what the human experience is all about. So I have no problem expressing that. One of my best friends, who's truly like a brother to me, happened to come into town, and he's a professional barber, celebrity barber at that. And so he was in town for a gig for like about a week and a half. And one of the things, like, when he comes out here to LA, when he first used to come out here, I used to ask him for haircuts, and then we wound up getting into a spat about haircuts and stuff like that. And so now when he comes out here, I don't ask him for haircuts any longer. And so, time got by, and I knew he was coming out here, and of course I always want him to cut my hair because like this was like one of my best friends. Like I literally grew up like getting haircuts from him in his backyard, and then like getting haircuts in between when we would switch classes at school. In between the bells, used to have this thing called the 6-minute shape up and shit. So I've like literally, he's my barber. Like we've grown up together over 20 plus years now. And so he came out here, and once again, I wasn't going to ask for a haircut, but when we finally saw one another, he was like, yo, I want to give you a haircut, yo. But here's the thing. You just got to sit in the chair and just let me do what I do. And I was like, all right. I was like, yo, but you can't cut my beard though, son, because like that, I can't.
So you drew a line.
Yeah, I had to draw the line in the sand somewhere. I was like, I trust you, but so the whole.
Well, you did a good job, man. So you think it worked out?
Here's the thing. Yes, I knew it. I like when he first cut it all off. I was like, yo, what do you?
You knew.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I knew he was going to do something, and regardless of what he did, it was going to come out. It was going to come out dope and fly because that's what he does. Wait, hold on, let y'all catch the angles. You know what I'm saying? I brush it up, but boop. That's Carlito the barber, celeb styles all day, every way. P-Way NJ, stand up. So I knew I was going to get a dope ass haircut, right?
Yeah.
Here's where my issue came in. He gave me a haircut based upon a time in the past where he remembered that I was in my full light and I was shining and I was just radiating like awesomeness, right? So he gave me a haircut based upon that time that he remembered. And my issue was that, dude, like you're giving me a haircut based in the past, not based upon right now and where I'm at in my life and what my trajectory is in life, you know?
Yeah.
And so instead of having a collaboration of a haircut and enhancing where I'm at now and into the future, he gave me a haircut based upon the past. And so that's where my issue was. But then the thing I had to really learn, and the lesson that I take and I'm taking away from it, and we'll move on after this, is that whether I had the hair or whether I didn't have the hair, I still look good.
Really?
Because it's because of the inside. Not on no arrogant nothing, but like
no.
I just
I
happen to be able to pull off the bohemian look, and I can pull off the the clean look.
Well,
and
I was just gonna ask, like, why would you be upset that he gives you this nostalgic haircut when you haven't asked for a haircut and you haven't been able to grow? Like, there's out of discord, right?
Wait,
and
when
so
you said haven't been able to grow?
You said you guys had you didn't really explain like the problem that you guys had, but you weren't asking for a haircut, right?
Yeah,
so
He
hadn't given you a haircut.
No, he hadn't. Well, last time, last time he was out here, he gave me a haircut, but that was once again, he initiated that. I wasn't like, yo, let me get a haircut, son, let me get a haircut, you know? So it was, and even in that moment, here's it is, even in that moment, I had the hair then, he didn't shave it all off then. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was just that outlook. Yeah. I love the cut. I love the cut. I had to but I didn't like the intentions behind the cut.
Okay.
Is really what I'm talking about. Like it wasn't coming from a place of like, yo, this is where Himyo is. Himyo says he's happy with where he's at in life and where he's going in life. It was, no, you're not happy. You can't be happy because you're living in your car right now.
And turn around and put you there.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So no, you can't be happy. You can't be happy because look at some of the mundane and outside situations that are going on within your life. So there's no way you can be happy. And me as your brother, I feel bad that like there's not a whole lot I can do for this, and it hurts my heart that you're in this situation. And so it was almost like a haircut of pity as opposed to sympathy and empathy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt about it. You know what I mean? And so that's where I had my issue with. It wasn't the haircut because I knew I was going to get a bomb ass haircut. That's what he does. Celeb styles, Carlito the Barber. I knew that. It was just what was behind it. It wasn't a collaboration. It was his view of me, not our view of me.
But you got to connect, right? That's cool.
Yeah. But I still love him. We still love one another, and he's that's my brother, you know. And it was just one of those. We had to agree to disagree. Yeah, you know. So all right. Moving on to question number 4. What are 3 words everyone should know? Wait, I'm sorry. What are 3 words you should know in every language?
Beautiful should be 1. But I think only because I know how to say like beautiful in Russian, which was
Krasiva.
a story about that. Yeah.
I got one
randomly picked that up at when I lived in Dallas at a train stop over there. It's so random, but it stuck with me. I think beautiful one. I don't know. The other important words would be like, I don't know, probably like help, very essential. Right? Make sure people understand. Because you think it's funny, like, okay, you can say like peligro in Mexico, right? You know, because you're California and you know like a little Espanol. But dude, like out here in Europe, when you go to like Slovakia versus Poland versus Germany versus Italy, like they're just different languages, man. So it's really, I think it's important to just say help.
Okay. Right? So beautiful, help. You got one more.
I think beer, probably.
Beer.
It'll probably be the easy one. It probably sounds the same everywhere. It's just like one vowel difference. But yeah, I think this would be, especially when you're gonna travel. You probably want to, enjoy
So
yourself.
help
Get
me,
loose.
beautiful. Find a beer.
That's right.
Help me with the beer, beautiful.
And the adventure starts. Best
Awesome.
vacation you've ever had.
Awesome. Yo, all right. So question number 5.
Okay, 5. Okay.
What scares you, Philip?
Man, so much. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that worries me. I don't know if it scares me. I think what scares me the most is like just the uncertainty of each day. Because now that I have kids, like it's no longer like, or I'm just Mr. Badass, I'm gonna survive. Like you got 2 little dudes who think they're badasses and they're not, right? Because Henry thinks he's a little badass. But yeah, it's just it's tough, I worry about like the the devaluation of our currency, of the lack of faith in our system, in our way of modern life. I think it scares me the amount of ignorance that people are not even willing to accept or realize, but they're just willing to participate in. Like, not well informed. I think I don't know. Maybe it is a product of the internet. I don't believe that that's one of the causes. Maybe because I don't relate to that, Like the internet's been empowering to me, versus like disconnecting me or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's there's a lot of different things to be scared of. But I think most they can only be scared of the things that I can control, which is, can I make it to work on time? Which is the little amount of stress that I like to give myself. Drive safely.
Okay. Awesome. And what kind of work is it that you do, by the way?
I work at the Joint Multinational Readiness Center out here in Germany, in Hohenfels, Germany. I work with Raytheon, and we work with there's a big facility there where we all help conduct and support the training exercises that happen over there. Right. U.S. forces and NATO forces. So it's an international community. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. And okay, so what makes you happy?
My kid totally makes me happy.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the good benefits about being a parent, is that you can have like a tough day, where you're emotionally tested, physically tested, you come home, and then it'll be a jolt of joy with the little one. That's what makes me really happy. But awesome. I mean, other things that I really like is it's music and film and storytelling. I think whenever my mind is stimulated, I'm really happy. Which is sometimes listening to podcasts like yours, or like, watching your videos.
Oh man, thank you, bro. You about to make me blush and cry and stuff. Oh,
look at that.
Somebody cares. Wow, somebody cares.
Hold on, I gotta pay the writer who put that one in.
For sure. All right, and question number 7. We're almost at the end, Cowglow.
Let's go.
What is your purpose?
My purpose in life? Well, now it's to be a father, to be a good father. I think that's my main purpose. I don't know. I haven't really thought about a purpose until like now, until recent years. I think primarily because wanting to be a father, but also because I've had a really good broad experience and I've gotten to experience a lot of things. So I never, maybe sometimes I felt like I didn't have a sense of direction, but I always felt like I was doing some pretty cool stuff. And now I really like have the opportunity to say, okay, let's try to like build a vessel and watch it go across sea. So I think being a parent right now, the simplest thing I can think of.
Awesome. That's cool. I mean, if you think about it, if there were more parents that said that their purpose is to be an awesome parent, could you imagine how many less people would be in prison over the world? How many more
How much
people wouldn't be
suffering there would be?
killed?
Yeah.
How much more suffering wouldn't happen in the world based upon good parenting? Because at the end of the day, when you come across some of the most vile and reprehensible people within the world, a lot of those issues stem from parenting. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
whether it was the lack of parenting, whether it was too much, or whatever that was. A lot of issues that people have are based upon the kind of parenting that they receive and are brought up upon. So just by even you expressing that your purpose is to be a dynamic and awesome parent, I commend you for that, because by the amount and the love, the care, and the sense of urgency that you raise your children with, are going to have a lasting impact and effect on their lives and the people that they interact with and affect and choose to become parents of, if they so choose. So so I commend you for that, bro. Like,
Thank
that's
you. I
real deal.
think that it's important. There's a lot of I think the dichotomy for parents is that they mean well. Like I mean
Mm,
well, but sometimes I make mistakes too, and
mhm,
I think it's really hard. Like I can understand how my parents or parents of friends of mine from when I was younger made decisions out of ignorance and didn't know any better, and then didn't really know how to like deal with those emotions
mm.
when they sort of realize like oh shit. And it's a different generation. It's a different thing. But yeah, I think it's important. But you know what? I mean, one of the constant things in life should be the sort of balance, right? Not work play balance, but like balance of like being afraid but taking a step forward.
Mm,
Taking being willing to like I have to be willing to admit that I'm not the greatest parent, but also can't boast that I'm like, the coolest dad. Although putting the effort into it, once you're in it, like it's not that hard to like ace the test,
mm.
It's about being present, it's about being engaged. And I don't know. I hope the kids grow up to be smarter than I am. Because I'm not so smart. So I think they will get they'll compound their value and
Mm,
contribution to the world.
mm. That's peace. That's peace. Definitely peace. So I know that's all the questions I have for you. But I do want to also take this moment out to say truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. Honestly, like the amount of support that you have shown me uh, in all these years, even whether it was just saying a like, or hey, keep it going, brother, or just like happy New Year's,
Yeah.
man. I love what you're doing, and even to for what you have done for me even recently with like the whole website and choosing to to be of assistance to me in some of the technical realms, which is definitely not my field. um I have to say, thank you, yo. That means the world to me, because honestly, I have people in my life that have known me for the majority of my life who have not chosen to step up and play a part and play a role in my life as much as you have in
Yeah.
such a short amount of time. And so, you know, um, I truly thank you for that, because without individuals like you validate, in a way, you validate the reason why I have been born um and have chosen to go through struggle, because I know at the end of it, it's not about me, it's about the we. And the small amount of struggle that I'm going through is nothing compared to what some other people are going through. And my whole mission in life is just to inspire people to be the happiest that they can possibly be. And by you getting that, makes me feel like I'm not crazy, bro, because people are getting it, bro.
No,
And,
bro. Thank you so
you know,
much. You're not crazy, man. Totally not. I
yeah.
think, well, if you're crazy, then I'm crazy too, because I think your message resonates with me. Plus your vision, I think it's, you have good intentions and you're putting stuff in motion. So I think it's good. I've heard you use the term like human capital, right? Like when you benefit from like knowing people and doing that kind of stuff. So I think that I mean, with the way technology is now and the situation we live in, like there's so much leverage on the people, and I think people don't realize, like, yeah, I think in the past, maybe you'd have to be like some big major corporation like Coca-Cola or, I don't know, Xerox, something huge to put in tons of money for marketing, for the infrastructure to deliver a message or whatever. But now we have the ability to do it, so easily and readily. So if you're willing to take on that baton, which I think many of us maybe don't feel like we have the courage to do it, or our mission's different, hey, if we're there to help, I think we need to support each other, and build sort of like a foundation on all of our efforts.
Many in body, one in mind, as we have learned within the Soka Gakkai.
That's right.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, I know it's you're all the way over there in Germany, and I know that it's kind of late out there, being that you're 9 hours ahead of us. One last thing I would love to continue to encourage you to do is I'm waiting to see that Lufthansa commercial, brother. Like I'm waiting.
Do people know about this? Yeah.
No, the people don't know. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting you on. I'm putting you on notice.
Dude, this is
like
best. Good.
Good.
You should totally do this. All right, so listen here, folks. I had made an image of a plane, and I kind of drew the Lufthansa logo on the wing, right? And I put an Instagram photo, and I hashtagged it, and I got a reply to them, and it totally incited in me this idea of like, I have to do a commercial for Lufthansa. Like, that's it. Like, it just incited it. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know even what it will be. But I think that it's something that, it's seeded, and I think it's going to sprout. So we'll see. Thank you for the encouragement.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely on it, and I'm loving your videos, man. So where can throw out your social media? Where can people see your work, your filmmaking work, and things of that nature?
Well, just Google Cowglow. Cowglow has been my screen name or my handle, whatever you want to call it, since the early days of the internet. But I have stuff on YouTube, like, so you can check out YouTube. That's where I've been posting a lot of stuff. Just because I stay pretty busy with the job that I have right now, but every little stuff. And Instagram, of course, because I like the video medium. It allows me to put videos in there too. So Instagram and YouTube, I'm Cowglow. On Twitter, I'm at Cowglow. So just Google Cowglow, and you should be able to find.
When you see the big fat glowing cow,
yes,
you've reached Philip. Awesome, bro.
Guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Show, put him up, son.
I got a message from you. Oh yeah, about the show.
Yeah, man.
Get to the glowing cow.
Get to the glowing cow. For sure. Give to the glowing cow. Yo, so I would like to thank you once again for tuning in to the Human Experience. You are immensely welcome, brother. We're still live in beta. Thank you for being the first interview on the Human Experience.
Dude, this is good, man.
Awesome. And I can't wait to continue growing and expanding and finding ways and means to collaborate across the seas, man. I definitely would love to figure out how we can, especially with your music. We didn't even get into the music, so there has to be a part two. About the other part
let's
of
do
it
again, man. I think I need to get good at getting interviewed. So
I could see that. Yeah, you're on your way, buddy. You're on your way.
Cool, bro.
So, all right.
We'll keep doing it. What's going on with the website? What can you tell us about the website?
So the
Which is cool.
website, Hecka Moment. Literally as recent as today, I was looking at different
You said the
websites.
password? You were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah. Yeah. I logged in. I mean, I've been looking at different backgrounds and actual layouts that I'm looking to do.
yeah.
Honestly, life has been life has been life, bro. And it is something that I need to jump back on. That is something that I need to remain disciplined in. I did get the official logo finished. So
Nice.
so I'm about to switch it up so I can get the landing page and the logo there so everybody can check out heckamoment.com. And we'll be building the paradigm shift really soon.
Let's do it, man. Take over the world.
Hey, why not? Why not? I would like the world to be a more peaceful place, and I think it's very possible. And I think that I know that the world is ready for a revolution, and that revolution is the revolution of self, and that is the revolution of love and knowing self to be
Yeah.
a magnanimous and dynamic thing that is here to interconnect the different facets. So we don't all have to be the same, but we are all after the one goal, and that is to be happy.
Yes. Cool, man.
For sure, brother. So thank you once again, Cal Glow, Philip Sa. I salute you, sir, and look forward to speaking to you soon. And congratulations. May the birth and the gestation process of this new individual that comes into the world, may it continue to go smooth, unabashed, and
Thank you.
and lively, bro.
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely be a pair of banshees, man. But
Awesome.
we'll put them in music school. They'll learn something. They'll do something productive.
Awesome.
All right. Well, good night
brother.
from Germany.
Peace.